What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Demon Bluff video. Looks like we're up against a puppeteer, a puppet, a puka, and a minion. You can tell there's a puppet because it says the evils killed are 0 out of 4, meaning there must be a fourth. So the puppeteer definitely created a puppet. We also know that there's a plague doctor, one outcast, so let's just clear this guy right off the bat. And alright, you're telling me the right side is more evil. I can't fact check that yet. We'll save this. You're telling me you are 3 cards away from the closest evil. Kinda hard to believe, but I'll buy it. I have 2 slayers. Aha, okay. So you are lying to me. So you should be able to tell me 6 is evil. 4 is a real oracle. Yeah, okay, cool. You are not 3 cards away from the closest evil. You are 2 cards away from the closest evil, at the very least. You're probably corrupted. You're wrong. Right side is not more evil. Ah. Okay, what went wrong? Okay, you were Plague Doctor corrupted, and you were evil. I assumed that the 2 liars next to the puka were probably evil, plus there was an extra liar here. Let's see, and you said, yeah, after I figured out 3 was evil, I would have just cleared 4 and 7, so you weren't very helpful, frankly. But you were good, but corrupted by the Plague Doctor. See, I knew that this could have been the Plague Doctor. No, it couldn't. It had to be the puka. Yeah, I don't think there was anything I could have done about that, in all honesty. Okay, let's try to get from the top. We have 1 outcast, which is a Plague Doctor. So once again, you are clear. You're telling me you're good, so you're good. You were corrupted. But that leaves me on 1 HP. Yikes. Alright. There's still a twin minion and a puka on the loose. This can get very bad very quickly. What if I... You're telling me 4 is a real hunter. That's just... Okay. Now the funny thing is, you could see that I suspected it was 2 and 5 because I had the hunter kill number 2. Yet, I still didn't do anything. Because here's the thing. This being the Plague Doctor corrupted, I had accepted. That made sense to me. And I figured the puka... I mean, this could have been the puka. But I don't know, it's pretty dead set at being 2 and 5. So why didn't I stab 2 or 5? I don't know. I need to go with my gut. Okay, now they're giving us an even easier one. I take that back. Well, I mean, yeah, it kind of is. Witch and Lilith. And we have 2 outcasts. So we have a Plague Doctor and a drunk. Right off the bat, stab the knight again. This time the knight is hard clear. Since there's 2 hard clear people, you should say false. You did not say false. Because you're the drunk. And you're telling me 8 is evil. 8 was the Lilith. And Lilith should be lying, making you good. Now you should say true, but you said false. Okay, finally, now that I'm going with my gut, and there's not tons of corruption all over the place, this is going a lot better. Now we're up against a puppeteer, a puppet, and a ba, with 1 drunk as our outcast. Right off the bat, I'm inclined to stab you. Okay, you are completely telling the truth and telling me that there are 2 evils adjacent to you, which just completely tells me the answer. The thing about a lover saying that there are 2 evils adjacent to them is that if they're an evil, boom, you got out an evil. If they're good and not corrupted, then you just learned where 2 evils are, which is a huge amount of information. It's just the puppeteer had to be adjacent to the puppet, that actually told me where all 3 evils were just by killing a lover claiming there were 2 evils adjacent to them and reading none of this information. Like, I disregarded the fact that 1 was evil and the fact that 1 was evil between 1, 3, and 7, which was true, just because this information was so huge I didn't need anything else. Which brings us up against a witch, Lilith, and counselor. And we're going to have 2 outcasts because of the counselor. Now, off the bat, I'm going to stab you. Probably a bad decision on my part. Okay, I was so hasty to start stabbing because I really wanted to get Lilith out of the picture because Lilith was going to start killing pretty soon. So now Lilith is out of here. Lilith is gone. Dunzo. And I'm pretty sure this confessor was also the only corrupted character. Like, we should just have a bombardier. Which, for the record, means either you or you are a counselor. I'll keep that in mind. You're the original baker. Good for you. You should say that that's a lie. But you didn't. Cool. Okay. You're telling me 9's the real architect? Sure. Now you're telling me the closest evil is counterclockwise. If you're the counselor, that's a lie. If you're good, that is true. It all comes down to whether or not this is true. 1 is evil. 6, 9, or 7. That is completely false. You are the counselor. Alright, I did it. Alright. We're making a comeback, guys. We're making a comeback. This video had a pretty rough start, but we're getting somewhere. Okay, we're working with a minion, a counselor, and a puka. And we should have both a plague doctor and a drunk because we have a counselor. Okay, where to even begin? You're telling me Chancellor is 2 away from the closest evil, but Puka is 1 away from the closest evil. That's alright. That's all well and good. You're telling me there are no outcasts? I kind of want to stab you. Yeah, okay. Okay. But you said there were no evils adjacent to you. So you're the Puka. Now, why did I reason that this had to be the Puka? Because if you were the Puka, then you would have been telling the truth, because there would be a minion and a Puka right next to each other. And since the Puka has to be next to a liar, I knew you must be corrupted. So now I'm going to check. Please tell me who a 3rd evil is. Boom, 10 is evil. I win. Because it would have been really annoying if the Plague Doctor told me that 5 was evil or that 3 was evil, but no, they told me 10 was evil. Magnificent. And here we are, back with a minion, a puppeteer, and a puka. Let's see if I can redeem myself this time. Right off the bat, we have 1 outcast, meaning one of these 2 are dead wrong. And it's you. Which means you're the puppet. You're telling me there are 2 pairs of evil. Which is peculiar, but okay, let's take things slow. No need to start rushing again. What even were you again? You were a bombardier, right? Yeah, sorry. 2 pairs of evil. That either means you're evil, or there's just 2 consecutive, there's just a minion and a puka next to each other. Okay, let's have a look at this. Between 7, 8, and 9, there's a villager, outcast, and a minion. Well, this is our only outcast, so that's just not possible. Which makes me think you're the puka and you're corrupted, because there are 2 pairs, 1, 2, 1, 2, not 3 pairs. So you just have to be corrupted, not the minion. Now, I'm now leaning towards you being evil, because you said you're 1 away from an evil, but you're evidently not. I think it could be either of you. I'm going to do that, and since it wasn't that, I'm going to do that. Alright, cool. Oh wait, you were corrupted. Oh man, that could have thrown a monkey wrench into things. Because imagine if it was 5. That'd be really awkward. And then number 8. What did number 8 tell me? Anything useful? 2, 4, 9. Yeah, number 8 pretty much just confirmed that 9 had to be good. But I'd already reasoned that through the Puka logic. And the puppet told me that technically by telling me it can't have been 4 consecutive evils. Alright, one more game just to end off the video. Okay, we're up against a puppeteer, a puppet, a minion, and a puka, with just our plague doctor as the lone outcast of the group. And this knight is perfectly good. That was a corrupted confessor. And you're telling me 9 is evil. And if you're saying 4 is good, that means 4 is evil. And if you're adjacent, that means you are evil. Okay, you're probably corrupted, but maybe not. Okay, take it from the top. Puka is 1 away from the closest evil. Okay, that might be important. You claim to have cured 1 corruption. If that is true... Wait, what? Okay, first of all, we're just looking for a minion. Okay. The evil is somewhere over here, because 1 away from a corrupted character, that is true. So the evil is 1 of these 3. That's the thing. It all comes down to this. So number 1 is essentially telling me that number 3 is evil. Now, if number 3 is evil, how could you have cured a corruption? Because if these 2 are evil and these 2 are not in range of being corrupted unless it's by the plague doctor, I think it's you. Really? So, you must have been corrupted by the plague doctor, and you cured them. I see. That makes sense. And also, no, why did I stab you? Because I assumed that you were evil, and you were plague doctor corrupted, and you were Puka corrupted. So I assumed that they were all liars, but that was not the case. Okay, lesson learned. I really just... Honestly, I don't even know what lesson I was meant to learn there, but with that taken care of, thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. And until next time, take care.